Hey, it's Savannah, and today we're at the beautiful Lakefront Park on East Lake Toho in St. Cloud, Florida, to talk to you all about the Orlando Metro neighborhoods. It's a general overview. You're going to get all you need to know to be downloaded on Orlando Metro. Let's get started. Come on. So today we're going to do an overview of Orlando Metro, but if you are interested in a specific area, drop it below and maybe I'll do an individual video about it. One more disclaimer is that per my license, I can't tell you what is good or bad, whether that be for crime, for schools, for areas, nothing like that. So we're going to be talking about 5 counties, and they're right here. Orange, where Orlando is, Osceola, Seminole, Polk, and Lake counties. That is generally determined to be Orlando Metro. So where is Disney? Disney is actually in Western Orange County. It's actually in its own city called Lake Buena Vista, Florida. Disney owns that city. Disney Security is actually its own police force. And when you think of Universal and SeaWorld, those are actually in the city of Orlando, close to International Drive. That's where all of the tourism is, and that's what we call iDrive. If you're a Disney fanatic, you're going to want to check out Dr. Phillips and Celebration Florida. It's actually called Celebration Florida, and it is a Disney master planned community. It's really close to the parks. You can see the fireworks on some nights if you're there, but it feels like you're in a movie when you're in Celebration because all of the houses really do look like movie sets. And then you have Dr. Phillips, which is in the city of Orlando, and that's where Restaurant Row is. It's a great date night experience, and just west of it is a city called Windermere, and that is where Shaq lived. If you're looking for a good short-term rental or a vacation home, you're going to be looking in Polk, Lake, and Osceola counties, especially places like Davenport and Kissimmee. This is because they're actually closer proximity to the parks, and they allow for short-term rentals such as Airbnb, VRBO. The city of Orlando and Orange County in general have very strict rules when it comes to short-term rentals. Some people are grandfathered in, but for the majority of cases, you cannot do that. You have to apply for a license and you have to be granted permission. The typical rule is that you have to be living there as a primary resident in at least 50% of the home, and then you can rent out the other 50%. So people still do break the rules, but for the majority of it, Orange County and City of Orlando don't have a lot of short-term rentals, at least legal ones. Let's jump really quick to Osceola County. This is the county due south of Orlando proper and Orange County. You have cities like Kissimmee, St. Cloud, and these actually used to be known as more quaint places that were a little more rural, but that's quickly changing because of the demand that is happening in Orlando and is slowly sprawling outwards. What's great about these cities, though, is that you can a lot of times get great deals and a little bit more land and lower taxes. If you want a similar vibe to Osceola County, but you do want to be a little farther north or farther west, there's Apopka, which is in Orange County, but it's really North Orange County. But it's still great. They have amazing lakes up there too, and you can still get great deals. And then west is Claremont. Claremont is beautiful. Oh my gosh, we actually have hills there, which is very rare in Florida, but there are some rolling hills. You'll have more horses out there, things like that. Now let's jump to Seminole County. Now we're going north of Orange County, north of the city of Orlando. You have places like Oviedo, Castleberry, Maitland, Altamont Springs, Sanford, and part of Winter Park. In a lot of Seminole County, you'll actually notice a bit more concentration of families because this is more of a suburban area. But you're still so close to urban life, nightlife, and major airports. Seminole County is also close to the springs. We have natural springs in Florida. They're so much fun to explore all the wildlife that Florida has to offer. And the water is always cold, so in the summer it's super refreshing. And that's just north, right up there in Seminole County at Wekiva Springs. It's time to get into Orange County. Here are some of the major players when you're moving to Orlando that you need to know about. Let's start downtown. You have the historic districts like Thornton Park, there's Lake Como over there, Lake Eola Heights. It's kind of like what every city center has. You have the brick paver roads, you have the old houses with the new houses, and that's really the main center of Orlando. And then as you go out a little bit, you will get closer to Conway and Conway Gardens. It's great because it's close to downtown, close to the airport, close to UCF, and close to Winter Park. The majority of the Conway area doesn't have HOAs, and there is a chain of lakes there, so some people are on the lakefront. And then if you go north of downtown, you will get to Mills 50. This is a great hole-in-the-wall eateries. You'll get close to College Park, and College Park has amazing historic homes. And then if you keep traveling north past Mills 50, past College Park on the right, you're really going to hit Winter Park. Winter Park has the famous Park Avenue. That's the place to go when you need a really great restaurant, when you want brick pavered roads. It feels really quaint and wonderful. There's a railroad track in the middle, and you're going to have great bookstores, great Mediterranean places, kind of great everything. You even have Rollins College, which is in Winter Park. You've got art galleries, and you have a lot of art museums. Now let's go to Waterford Lakes. This is what I call suburbia. There's A-rated schools, and you have, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car garage and a decent sized yard. And decent sized yard in Orlando is really 0.15 acres. And then just outside of Waterford Lakes, you will see Avalon Park. Avalon Park is comprised of a lot of families. You have a lot of the same A-rated schools that Waterford does. And Avalon Park actually has its own little downtown central. It's downtown Avalon. They have awesome little eateries, a really fun little walk around a lake. It's a really fun time. Waterford and Avalon are also really close to UCF. So if you want to be close to the action of the university, then you want to be in Waterford or just around there. A similar vibe to Avalon, but closer to downtown, is Baldwin Park. You'll see it's right on Lake Baldwin. Baldwin also has its own little downtown central, and now Union Park and Azalea Park are kind of right in between Waterford and downtown. So you have a little bit more of affordable prices, which is great, but you have close proximity to everything. And then moving into southeast Orlando, you're going to have the Lee Vista area and the Lake Nona area. Lake Nona is a kind of newer development in southeast Orlando. Once it's finished, it's going to be a third of the size of Washington, D.C. It's the fastest growing metro in Central Florida and one of the fastest in the entire nation. Lots of medical professionals and technological professionals actually live in Lake Nona because Medical City is there. That's where the VA hospital is, where UCF has a campus that does research, and where a lot of medical students are. It's a booming area, which is a lot of the reason why just south of there, across the Osceola-Orange County lines, is St. Cloud, and the northern part of St. Cloud has been crazily being developed because the same people that developed Lake Nona are now doing northern St. Cloud. And then if you go just north of Lake Nona, you're going to get into the Lee Vista area. You're still super close access to highways, you're not too far from Waterford, and you're really close to Lake Nona. And then if you go just west of Lake Nona, you're going to get into Wyndham Lake, Somerset Park, different developments there, and those are also a lot of new construction homes as well. Okay, if you like a more rural setting but you still want to be in Orlando, you're going to want to check out Bithlo and Wedgefield. Wedgefield is awesome. I do a lot of business out there because people really like the land out there. So you can get horses, chickens, that kind of thing. And it was originally supposed to be called Rocket City because it was intended for a lot of NASA engineers to live there because it's close to Kennedy Space Center. When you're out there and a rocket launches, I'm pretty sure that you could feel the ground shaking because I've been there and it's happened. Just like with any major city, if you're talking through every area, it's going to be a lot. So I kind of just gave you the highlight reel. If you want a more detailed version or something specific to cater to your vibe and your family, let me know and we'll schedule a time to talk about it. But for now, I'm going to go watch the sunset. So I will see you later. And I'm so thrilled for your move to Florida. Bye.